Hi everyone, today we're going to talk about selling strategies for creatives with very limited time. You all have told me that you are short on time. You want to know what ways to sell will get you the most bang for your time. So let's talk about those today. So the problem is that many creatives struggle with making time to create sellable art, so they never move past that dreaming stage into the doing stage. It's not always clear which selling paths actually lead to income the fastest, so I want to break some of those down here. I've tried nearly all the paths, so I can tell you which ones did not work and which ones I do and am doing moving forward. So I'm going to tell you from my own personal experience what works well, what isn't worth your time, and what you should focus on, especially for those folks who don't have a lot of time on their hands. I'm Liz Kohler Brown. I'm a surface designer and hand letterer, and I love helping people find their style and sell their work. Remember to go ahead and click subscribe if you like to get information and tutorials like this in your notifications, and remember that helps support the channel so that more people can find me. The first strategy is understanding SEO. Each site that you can use to sell your art will have its own algorithm and rules. Of course, you want to read their tips and follow all of them to get higher in search. This way you make more money from each piece of art you make. I want to show you all real examples because I don't just want to talk about these theories and tell you, oh, I'm sure they work. I want to show you that they have actually worked in my life, in my art, and have made a huge impact on my business. Let's look at my fonts as an example. Here is a font that I created. It took me about 8 hours to make the font and post it on Creative Market. And since I've posted it in 2020, I've made almost $3,000 from it. So if someone told you you can spend 8 hours doing something and it will make you $3,000, would you do it? I would say yes. Now, the secret behind this font versus the others that I'm going to show you is it has a hot keyword in it, and that is Art Nouveau. That is a phrase that a lot of people are typing, and so they're finding me through that method, whereas something that doesn't have that hot keyword, it's not going to be a good return like what you just saw, and I have made that mistake as well. Here's another one that I just posted, Art Nouveau graphic set, took me about 12 hours, and I've already made $725 from it, even though I posted it in August 2024. It just keeps selling, and people keep finding it because I'm using that great SEO term. Now here's another font that I thought was super cool and funky, Road Trip hand lettered font, took me about 8 hours, and I've made $124 from it. Not bad, I mean, it's not terrible, but it's also not great. It's not the amount I would like to be making from my fonts, and I think the number one issue here is that people don't find it because it's not centered around words that people are typing in search. Nobody goes to Creative Market and types road trip. They might type texture or funky or hand lettered, but that has a lot of competition. I want to hit those keywords that have low competition so that I'm not fighting for everyone to get the customer's attention. I'm maybe just competing with 4 or 5, maybe 10 people, and then it's easier for me to stand out. So let's talk about strategy number 2, which is don't ship. If you are limited on time, you do not have time to ship your art. Spend time doing what you do well and let someone else do the rest. POD platforms and fulfillment services make this easy peasy, so why not do it? I have been selling calendars on Etsy for going on 3 years now, and I can tell you that I don't get complaints about the calendar quality. I think that's what a lot of people are worried about. I don't get complaints about the shipping. Of course, items get lost here and there. That always happens no matter what you're shipping and who's packing it. But on the whole, people are super happy with the product. I have great reviews. Just go look at my Etsy shop. I don't have to convince you. It works. The POD model works. Do you make less money than if you ship it yourself? Yes, but you don't have to ship. And if you are short on time, don't waste your time on things that are not in your zone of genius. So I want to show you my calendar sales as an example to show you how you can scale this POD model. In 2023, I had 204 calendar sales. I was just testing it out. It was one calendar, one listing, and it helped me understand my pricing and how the whole process works. 2024, I decided to have 2 calendars. I made almost 800 sales, 4 listings total, but only 2 calendars. So it was 2 duplicated listings. And that's pretty good for me for only doing 2 calendars. That's not a ton of work. I spend about an hour per calendar page. So in the end, I feel like I'm making a pretty good profit on my calendars. Here we are in 2025. I'm filming this in October, so we have not had calendar season yet, and I'm already up to 768 sales. So this year I'm going big on calendars. We are hitting calendar season right now, so I have all my calendars listed in my Etsy shop and some plans to add a few more over the next couple months because I'm really believing in this process. But the whole reason that I am able to scale this model, this POD model, and put more and more art out there and make more and more sales is because I don't ship. I don't pack boxes, I don't weigh things, I don't stick labels, I don't have inventory. I just let somebody else do that, and I am more than happy to pay them to do that for me because I don't want to do it. I don't have the desire or the skills or the space. I mean, this is a tiny house, y'all. There's no space for packing stuff here. So if that speaks to you, if that sounds up your alley and you want to just focus on making art and not have to worry so much about all the logistical pieces of it and just put it out on the internet and be done with it, this model is going to be for you. So if you are curious how I do this, how I put my work onto products like this and share it through print on demand and sell it that way, I have lessons on that in my membership, and you can get a free trial and watch all the classes you want for a whole week. And then if you want to cancel, go ahead. It's a free trial and you get to try everything. So you can learn about my drop shipping process. You can watch me unbox drop shipped products from a lot of different companies. I'm not married to any company. I use them all. I'll use anyone that has a good product. So I like to do unboxings of those in my membership. So come check that out if you want to dive deeper into this no shipping concept. The third strategy here is focus. If you have limited time, you don't have time to get distracted. Go ahead and choose your niche, choose your products and your style, and stick to it for a long time. The more you skip around, the less you will get done. This is the trap that so many newbies get stuck in. They have that shiny object syndrome. They see all their heroes doing all the things, so they think, well, if my heroes are doing all the things, I need to do all the things. But what you don't see on the back end is that your heroes who are really doing well started by focusing on one thing. For me specifically, that was POD. I went deep on Spoonflower. I put up to, I think, 5,000 designs on my Spoonflower shop and was making a full-time income from that, and had the biggest relief in my life when I realized I was making a full-time income and I didn't have to go to work. I didn't have to check in. I didn't have to clock in. I could literally take 6 months off and keep making money. And that kind of freedom builds a creative business because then you can really go deep into your passions. Whereas if you're always starting something new and new and new, you never get any traction. You never go deep into anything and you never find success. So pick your thing, stick to it, and then you're going to find that success much faster than everybody who's out there getting distracted by that whole shiny object syndrome thing. I also have a sell your stuff free guide where I have 100 different ways to sell your art, along with some pros and cons of each one. So if you're like, I don't know which one to choose, how am I supposed to know that? I put it all down in a guide for you. So you'll find a link to that right below this video. Next is choose simple. If you have limited time, but you also want to build a long-term business, you will likely feel pulled to do the perfect thing all the time. But if you want to get the engine running, things that are doable and simple are better than what is perfect. For example, should you use Etsy or should you use Shopify? some people have this debate because it's like, well, Etsy has high fees. If I use Etsy, then I'm not building this long-term business, and that's not gonna sustain my family for years, and I shouldn't start something like that. Even though it's a little easier than doing a Shopify store, I should do the whole Shopify thing now. I should learn about ads. I should learn about websites. That's like the dangerous road to go down, because you're overcomplicating things in order to avoid starting the thing. Whereas, Etsy, you could have a shop up in a day and start selling and getting that experience and getting your work out there. I would always choose that easy startup option versus the complex, difficult option. I see the complex, difficult options as step 2 when you're ready for it, when you really need it. But to just get that engine running, go with what is simple and easy and straightforward, and you will gain traction much faster. It's question time. Mel Petrick says, "Hi Liz, I'm truly trying to design to SEO, but I am not being found. Obviously, when I can, I want to join your studio membership. Is there an additional video or resource you can recommend for a struggling beginner to help find the right keywords?" I love this question, and I do have a blog post linked right below this video that is all about SEO. So for me, the secret here is to make sure before you create the art, you know that on the platform where you're going to sell, the SEO is good. So let's do an example. I want to say make a design for someone who likes tennis. And I know there are people out there who like tennis and want patterns, and they're not finding it. So I go to Spoonflower and I search tennis. How many pages of good designs are showing up? If it's a few, I'm into it. Let's make a tennis design. If it's 5,000, I'm not really into it. Skip it. Go to the next idea. So I'm not going to make a design around flowers because I think you guys know that's been done. But I will make a design around tennis because tennis is going to have less pages. So that's just a quick and easy example, but you can do that with any search terms on any platform and really suss out what are the good search terms that just don't have enough going on, but also check out that blog post below to get more details. In the end, I think the secret to not wasting your time when you have very little time to sell your art and you just want to make a big impact is to choose a very simple and straightforward path. That means choosing maybe even one product, one style, one platform to sell, maybe not even doing marketing, just focusing on SEO. The more you can simplify it, the more you can get done, and the happier you'll be when you start making progress. And that's what's going to build that long-term momentum. I hope you all enjoyed this video and that it's getting you inspired to simplify your process. If you like this video, you might like some of my other selling related videos, like choosing a path to selling and the #1 POD platform that shows you what is selling.